continue to study the character of Duryodhana, we see there is a legacy of evil and there is a legacy of good. So when the bad takes over, the bad does not grow like a bamboo tree. It grows like a banyan tree. And one banyan tree gives rise to many more banyan trees occupying more space and more area. So Duryodhana's character, therefore, when Duryodhana was born, Vidura, it may sound harsh, but he spoke to Gandhari and Dhritarashtra to not to abandon. Sometime, after a few days we speak, he told to kill him. It may sound really harsh, but if you get to study the episode of Stri Parva in the Mahabharata, wherein Vyasadeva gave the vision to Gandhari. Now, she should have not asked for it. She wanted to see what exactly happened to all her sons on the battlefield. To see, I remember when there was an accident in Nepal, 8 of our devotees left their bodies. 8 people. And for many days, those who saw all the 8 bodies together, they couldn't sleep. To see 8 dead bodies. I went through an accident in 1997. Our bus crashed during the Ganesh festival. The people who were carrying Ganesh, they were celebrating with great enthusiasm, and their enthusiasm was added with liquor. There was a head-on collision with our bus. One person left his body in my lap, head being split into 2 parts. For next 3 days, no sleep. How could you sleep? Your entire dress is covered with blood. We had to burn that kurta and dhoti. 8 people died. I am seeing there. During Ganesh festival. So every Ganesh festival is like a very sober mood for me. Now imagine Gandhari watching hundreds and thousands of people. One sight. I'm supposed to describe this at the end when the Gandhari's episode comes, but the point is how, when we do not give heed to the warnings of superior people, the reaction does not come one to one. One crime and one consequences. The consequences are one crime and the consequences are multiple. The multiple. So Gandhari is telling this to Krishna. She is able to see the cloth is there over her eyes, but she is able to see also, and she is narrating everything to Krishna. She saw one of her daughter-in-law. She is trying to find out her husband, but the head is not there. So she brings a head from somewhere else, and tries to place it together. And she said, no, this is not my husband. Can you imagine? Millions of such people are lying, and one lady, she is looking at her son and finding her husband to ask for him, what should you do with our son? She finds her son is also dead, her husband is also dead. And unfortunately, people blame Krishna. He is responsible for the war. We will discuss that when Duryodhana's issue comes. Vidura had told, just discard this one child of yours, my dear brother. The entire Kuru clan, not only your 99 sons, the entire Kuru clan and the army will be protected. But unfortunately, they considered themselves to be, it's my child. No, you are not only your child, it is connected to the entire Rashtra. In an ordinary family, attachment is understood and expected also. It is required. But when a king, a person from the royal family exhibits such attachment, he has to realize what is the cause of such attachment, what is the consequence of such attachment. You know, Shastras do accept that parents should be attached to their child. But when that parents are from a royal family, kingly family, their attachment to their child can cause limitless consequences. Therefore, here Duryodhana's character is multiplied in viciousness. It's like breeding. If you go and see scorpions, one scorpion mother, wherein, in a good family, there is always a trouble. Nowadays, infertility is so high, you have all the wealth but no child. But a scorpion, she gives birth to hundreds of babies. So similarly, a bad person, when he breeds bad qualities, he breeds in quintal. There is no number, it is innumerable. And Vidura speaks that to Krishna when Krishna comes as a peacemaker. So this arrogance of Duryodhana gives rise to desensitization to the realities of life. There is no sensitivity. Like saying, desensitization can happen because of not being alert also. We discussed that. If you are not aware of the world situation, if you tell the story, there is no water, they will say use tissue paper. Right? The queen of French queen, when people complained to her, people don't have bread to eat, she said, let them eat cake. This is not sarcasm. She was so desensitized. So there is one restaurant in one airport in America, eat cake. That's based upon that history. So desensitization, taking pleasure in other suffering, and then making illogical decisions, harsh speech, unlimited violence, always blaming an outside force for one's own mistakes. And Duryodhana exhibited all these qualities abundantly. So what does desensitization do? Being desensitized leads to not feeling for others' pain. There is no empathy. Tukaram Maharaj explains, those who are devouring on flesh, he says, very interesting, he said there is no sensitivity for them because they go to the slaughterhouse on their own, they are cutting the animals, and while cutting the animal, they are extremely careful not to even hurt their small little finger. He said, if we have a mind and little sensitivity, you will see the connection. When I avoid cutting my, not even a finger, just small cut, I'm very conscious because knowing very well it hurts. He said, how can they not see the connection between not hurting your finger while slaughtering the animal? He said, why that connection is not there? And then he says, because one's senses have become desensitized. There is no sensitivity of the consciousness. Lack of empathy. Using, abusing, but never empowering. Now, Duryodhana is not necessarily means a physically brutal person, violent only physically. We discussed on the first day, Duryodhana is a flow of mentality. It's a thought process. It's an ideology. It's an attitude. Right? So therefore, when Duryodhana is lodged into our system, he is installed into our system, then we also consciously or unconsciously use, abuse, but never empower. And this happens mostly very much in a cultured family also, in the religious circle also. Right? In the school, why Gurukul systems were there? In the Gurukul system, The whole principle of education is that at one point of time, a student has to get out of the school. The teacher should not use the child, and child should not create so much of ruckus in the class. Only 5 to 7 years. If the child continues to stay in the school, he is rotten and the school is rotten. I remember there was a school next to our school, and their sports teacher was very passionate to make his school win. And when their student would play against our school and other school, the students were more than 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old. And you would make them fail 2 years, 3 years. And the children also would not realize. They were more interested in playing rather than studying. They didn't realize, the teacher is using us, abusing us, not allowing us to grow. Now, their sport career was not like Sachin Tendulkar's sports career. They had to study, but we could see that, they had mustaches, they had beard, and they would play with 15-year-old boys. Naturally, their team would win. So, using and abusing, but never empowering to move on with life is nothing but the mentality of Duryodhana only. You don't have to be cruel all the time. You just hold back people from moving away from you. That is also a cruel mentality. Taking pleasure in other suffering. Narcissist. Therefore, Duryodhana in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, I always tell this one. He is speaking to Dronacharya. He says, my dear teacher, can you see all these people are willing to die for me. Madarte taktva jivita. All of them, they're willing to die for me. Another intoxicating thing. I tell them, they do whatever I say. I have trained them. I have given them Krishna consciousness. And I have made them spiritual. And other parties do talk about it everywhere. And this intoxication is so strong. Duryodhana is very gross. You can see it. And to others it is very subtle. I remember one person was saying that his son, not his son, his friend's son became a judge. And the father was telling to his friend, you know what, my son is a judge, he's married, he's grown up, but all the salary gives it to me. And I give it back to him whatever he requires. Now this is the height of, it is not a culture, you're taking to another level. You are not empowering your son to use his own earning wisely. The son is still practicing the culture, but the father has to say, my dear child, I trust you. I have full confidence, to use your own money the way you want. I don't want anything from you. I have my pension, I will live. But you enjoy with your family. This is a greater empowerment. In the name of culture also, one can ask their family member to do, and so-called submissive cultured people also want to do unreasonable things for their family members. This is also a flaw of Duryodhana's thought only. Therefore, a conscious madness, conscious violence can be dealt with. But unconscious violence cannot be understood also. It takes long time. It takes many years to see the consequences and the reaction. So therefore, Duryodhana had a great pleasure in talking about how people would die for him. Desired to go and see the suffering of the Pandavas in the Dvaitavan. Can you imagine, you have all the wealth which was earned by the Pandavas. Now the Pandavas went to all the four directions, collecting all the wealth for Yudhishthira Maharaj to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. After performing the Rajasuya sacrifice, before performing the Rajasuya sacrifice, they captured, conquered, defeated and collected all the resources. After performing the sacrifice, many thousands of people gave them the gift. And in one throw of the dice, in the second gambling match, in the first gambling match they lost everything, Dhritarashtra became very afraid, scared. He gave everything back to Pandavas. Their property, their land, their slavery was freed. They became independent because Draupadi had the courage, power to scare Dhritarashtra. And then again, Duryodhan threatened his father, I will commit suicide. जो ऐसा बोलता ना उसको बोलते मर जाना अच्छा है, तू तो बोझा है समाज के लिए. Because such people never commit, especially if they are looking for resources. Somebody is distressed, pain, health-wise, we can sympathize with them. But they're threatening because they want a car. They're threatening because they want a bicycle. They're threatening that you have to send me to America to study, otherwise I'll commit suicide. So again, that's a Duryodhan's mentality. Our father again, he became weak and he invited for the gambling match. Yudhishthira Maharaj came. We'll discuss that in the detail, why Yudhishthira came back. And in one throw of the dice, he said, if you win, you stay back. If you lose, you go to the forest for 12 years. 1 year incognito. In that incognito, if we recognize you, again 12 years vanvas and 1 year incognito, because they wanted to send them perpetually to the forest. They have done it now. Duryodhana has done it. Pandavas are living in the forest. Can you imagine? After being the Raja of the Raja, Chakravarti king, Draupadi, bathed by Krishna with that Abhishek, coronated in front of all the great sages, including Narad Muni, Vyasadeva, the entire Kurukul, Bhishma had not seen such a Rajasuya sacrifice. Bahallika, Bhurishrava, nobody had seen such a Rajasuya sacrifice. They had never seen it. But now these same people who were the king of the kings were loitering in the forest. Duryodhan, instigated by his very great friend, whose friendship is glorified in the pages of Indian narratives. Afzal Guru is glorified. Why? Because Karna is glorified. He was the one who instigated them. Let us go with our wives and carry lots of prostitutes. Not only their wives. Let us exhibit our pleasure to the Pandavas. Two things will happen. Let them see our enjoyment. That will increase their suffering, and their increased suffering will give us real happiness. Our happiness will not give us much happiness, but to see them suffer will give us greater happiness. Like Saraswati Thakur told that story, somebody wanted to go to the holy place, Tirtha Yatra. But the neighbor did not like them to go to Tirtha Yatra. He never would go, but at the same time he didn't want others to go. And he knew the man who wanted to go with his family for Tirtha Yatra, he believed in lot of omen. Shakun. So Shakun is that if you have a bleeding nose and somebody stands outside your home before you start your journey, that is very inauspicious. Then you stop going to the holy yatra. So this man, he actually cut off his nose so that the neighbor should not go to Tirtha Yatra. This mentality, it may sound, how can somebody do like that? The Mahabharata speaks the heightened envy, violence, narcissist mentality, but it is seen everywhere. Prabhupada talks about in Kolkata, one man was cutting a chicken and his son was crying and weeping, and the father is saying, enjoy, enjoy. The chicken was flapping, screaming, but the father is taking pleasure and is seeing his child cry and is telling to him that you should enjoy. It's a minuscule, but the same mentality of seeing others suffer. Celebrated the Pandavas' losses in the gambling match. You should hear the words what the Kurus used against the Pandavas. Calling Bhima as a bull. Now bull, when you call a bull, it is not simply calling a bull, because animals don't have discrimination in regards to whom they enjoy with. So basically he was calling like that. And Vyasdev, very indirectly, very subtly, as I said, you have to hear the dhwani. When Draupadi was lost, when Draupadi was brought to the palace in that Asat Sabha, Duryodhan did not only show his thighs, he went beyond that. Vyasdev basically indicates that, showing his left thigh, which indicates it's a place for a wife or someone whom want to enjoy with. In public place, Karna told in public place, "Arey, remove her clothes because after all she's a prostitute. She has 5 husbands. She doesn't deserve this respect. After all, she's a prostitute. Whether she has a cloth, she doesn't have a cloth, does not matter." And people say, no, Krishna should have stopped. Somebody was telling, can you imagine 5,000 years ago, a queen is kidnapped and she is basically disrobed in the presence of all the great personalities. And what to speak of other people? There is one author, he has written a book on Duryodhan. He says when Duryodhan was ruling the country, it was as good as Bhima. There was no need for Bhima to come and try, Yudhishthira Maharaj, there was no need for him to take over the country. It was nothing but arrogance on their part. But they never realized, and many so-called leftist liberal women have written also like this. Condemning Draupadi, sympathizing Karna, and appreciating Duryodhan. Can you imagine what kind of perversion these people have? What kind of perversion they have. And Dushasan, the kind of obnoxiousness he was exhibiting there. And Vyasdev is so sensitive in presenting Mahabharata. Even in that condition, Draupadi was looking, okay, if you don't want to protect me, if you don't want to do anything, she was looking, is anybody crying for me? And she tells this to Yudhishthira Maharaj in the forest. He said, my dear husband, you have to defeat them, you have to beat them, you have to punish them. He said, everyone was crying except 5 people. 4 people, Dushasan, Shakuni, Duryodhan and Karna. And Dhritarashtra never cried when bad would happen. So Draupadi was looking that. If they have done that much also, she was able to sympathize with them. Can you imagine how much sensitivity she had? Therefore, Kunti in the Bhagavatam, she called that Asat Sabha. In that Asat Sabha, Bhishma was there, Drona was there, Kripacharya was there. That Jatayu, vulture, when Sita, she only told that bird, Jatayu, please inform my husband Ram. She never expected Jatayu to fight for Sita Maya, but Jatayu not only fought, he laid down his life. Therefore one commentator says, all these people in that Sabha, they became less than a vulture. Even though they had a big position. Right? And even seeing all that, in fact, I read some articles about when B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata was being shot, this episode, and also the new Bharat which they are shooting. Even one who was acting as Duryodhan was not able to perform this act. Dushasan ban ke jo role kar raha tha na, even they had lot of trauma to act in that drama also. They were feeling, this is too much. You can imagine what kind of obnoxiousness, what kind of mentality they had developed. You don't accidentally become bad. You consciously culture nastiness. It's a conscious cultivation, and when it becomes matured, paripakva ban jata hai, then you become completely unaware that you become so nasty. That's what Duryodhan was. And sent Durvas Muni to create additional difficulties for the Pandavas. Now Duryodhan was, as I said yesterday, he was competent. He was not Pappu. He was expert in the art of pleasing people. Now who has the courage and skills to actually please Durvas Maharshi? Because wherever Durvas Muni goes, he has to find some fault and curse. If you go to Dwarka, if you go to Rukmini's Mandir, Rukmini is not with Krishna in Dwarka. Krishna's temple is in one place and Rukmini's temple is in another place. The Sthala Purana is that Durvas Muni cursed Krishna and Rukmini because Durvas Muni wanted to come to Krishna's house for prasad. Krishna invited because he was a sage. He said, okay, I will come, but on one condition. Instead of the horses, you and Rukmini have to carry. On the horseback, instead of horse, they will be put. So then Krishna said, no problem. So both are going. At some point of time, Rukmini became very thirsty. And she told Krishna, I want to drink some water. So Durvas Muni became so upset that you drank water without even feeding me anything. I curse you that in this entire place, there will be no sweet water. Sometime, as we discussed yesterday, the self-controlled sages also develop the consciousness of Duryodhana time to time. In fact, somebody said Durvas Muni had a benediction of becoming stronger by cursing. Can you imagine? He's looking always to curse people so that he can become very strong. So Duryodhana was able to please Durvas Muni to such an extent. Durvas Muni asked him, what should I give you? What do you want from me? And what does Duryodhana say? He said, you go to the Pandavas. When they've already finished their meal, especially when Draupadi has finished her meal, go with your 10,000 disciples and ask them to feed you. Draupadi had this Akshay Patra. Akshay Patra symbolically means, limitless desire to serve. So when Durvas Muni came to the Pandavas when Draupadi had already finished her meal, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi, and Yudhishthira Maharaj did not even ask Draupadi, घर में खाना है कि नहीं? No. Because उनको तो cooking नहीं करना होता है ना? Right. Sometimes men wants to take the credit of serving so many guests without even cutting one vegetable. So he invited 10,000 people. You go, come back from taking bath in the Jamuna. Draupadi said, but I'm already finished. What to do now? Can you imagine? Because he was hoping that Pandavas will be cursed by Durvasa Muni. Knew the art of pleasing, but using that art of pleasing in causing trouble to others. And loud exploitation tried to cause division among the Pandavas. In the Adi Parva, it is explained, Duryodhana was trying to create a dissension between the Pandavas, that means Kunti's children and the sons of Madari. In fact, after the Pandavas were coming back to Hastinapur as the king, and after marrying Draupadi, they were discussing, now they are coming back. Our efforts to burn them in the Lakshagraha has been a failure. Now they are coming with Draupadi. So how do we create a dissension? Duryodhan, Shakuni, he said, let us purchase, give lots of gifts to Draupadi, bribe her, tempt her, cause dissension amongst the Pandavas. If we are able to do that, if there is a conflict among the Pandavas, then our victory is guaranteed. And then Karna said, my dear Duryodhan, this lady has agreed to marry Pandavas without even knowing who they are. Simply seeing the valor of Arjuna, able to pierce, so she knows, so she has married. Now she knows also that I am not married to anybody, I am married to Arjuna, for whose sake my father had organized this great tournament. And you think you can create dissension? And then he makes a nasty statement. People don't read this. unfortunately. He says, you know what? And he makes this statement for everyone. Generalizes the statement. He said, women want to enjoy more than one man, and she's getting it religiously. So why would she quit this relationship? अब इसको क्या करना चाहिए? When the people of India glorify Karna, they are consciously, unconsciously, directly or indirectly endorsing the statement of Karna that women are low class. When the entire Indian context that women are considered as Lakshmi, Durga, Saraswati, expansion of Lakshmi. When somebody gets married, they would come back, it would say, Ghar pe Lakshmi aa gayi hai. He makes that statement and he convinces the Kauravas. That was their consciousness. Narcissism of the highest order, distorted mentality. I was talking to this author who wrote this book. I said, it is very nice that you are able to find good in bad people. You are able to find a great qualities in Duryodhan, in Ravan. I said, very good. But the point is, when you bring good in Duryodhan and Ravan, you are consciously making Yudhishthira Maharaj a villain. You are making Krishna villain. You are making Ram villain. You are making Sita villain. He said, this is not the thought process of Vyasadeva. Your narratives should not change. Your understanding should not change. Your perversion should stop. So that was the quality of Duryodhan. Making illogical decision, he says, I know you have the help of Vasudeva. He's telling it to Arjuna. I know you have the help of Gandiva, which is as big as the Tala tree. And I know you as a great warrior. But I will take away your kingdom. That is called as arrogance. And next one, it's a very, this is from one of the Niti Shastra. Dvamimo purusho loke murkhe duryodhano dashanane gograham vanabhangam cha drishtva petau samohita. What is this illogical? Both Duryodhana and Ravan experience personally a defeat by one of the soldiers of Dharmic warrior. Hanumanji, who claimed that he is ordinary soldier in the army of the Sugriva. He told Sita, my dear Sita, there is no one inferior to me. Everybody is equal to me or everyone is superior to me. And he gave the glimpse to Ravan. Hanumanji alone, he burned the entire Lanka. एक झलक दिखाया रावण को कि if Ram comes with his army, my dear Ravan, you imagine what will happen. He burned the entire Lanka. And then people say, nowadays people are trying to exhibit Hanumanji as a fierce personality. There was a controversy about that also. Somebody, a great artist, wonderful artist, he made a picture of Hanumanji exhibiting his fierce appearance. Hanumanji has both. He has nishpapta bhi hai, innocence bhi hai, or he has a fierce appearance also. So the artist displayed this aspect of Hanumanji, and it became very famous all over, especially in South India. People are putting on the car everywhere. And one so-called sensitive lady, जिसको वही अहिंसा से इतना प्रेम है, she said, I fear so much, I stopped sitting on such cars wherever such Hanumanji is there. So Hanumanji burned the Lanka and Arjuna alone. Sometime there is a lot of this in Kora. If you go, there are a lot of debates. People say, Arjuna could have never won the Kurukshetra war if Krishna was not there. That is how Arjuna wants always to be known. If you ask Arjuna, what is your credit? He said, no credit for me. In the first canto of the Bhagavatam 15th chapter, if you read that chapter, even where Krishna was not directly involved, Arjuna is giving credit to Krishna with great heart, not as a ritual, not thanking Krishna because you are taught to thank, you are told to thank, or you are forced to offer obeisances. Sometimes mothers, force their child, अरे बेटा प्रणाम करना प्रभु जी को, right? वो बच्चों को कुछ लाभ नहीं होता, केवल उसको दर्द होता है. No? Yes, we need to teach culture. So Arjuna would always want to be glorified as, I won the battle because Krishna was there. But there are certain facts also. On the battlefield of Virata, there was no one. And Arjuna was still on the borderline between the eunuch and man. अभी तो को शाप पूरा नहीं हुआ था. It was not completed. He came there on the battlefield of Virata to fight against the same army which was gathered on the Kurukshetra. Bhishma was there, Drona was there, Karna was there, Kripacharya was there, Shalya was not there, Ashwathama was there, everyone was there. Krishna was not there, the Agnidatta chariot was not there, Hanumanji's flag had not yet come, some say it has come, doesn't matter. Arjuna single-handedly defeated each of the warrior, defeated Karna 4 times. He ran away 4 times. I am not cooking up the story because I like Arjun. No, you can read it. And then not only defeated 4 times, he defeated all of them together single-handedly. They all garroted Arjuna. And he defeated them. And he made them fall unconscious. And he told, very sensitive, Arjuna, because Uttara's sister, Uttara, had told Arjun, she didn't know this was Arjun, she thought he is my dance teacher, Brahannela. She told, when my brother defeats the entire Kuru army, I want all their upper cloth, because their upper cloth is very special. I want those upper cloths so that I can decorate my toys. Her interest was her toys. Very innocent, Uttara. So Arjuna remembered that. He has conquered such a big army, so he should be intoxicated in celebration, forget this thing, small thing. Arey tera kapda to main market se laike raunga. So after defeating them, after making them unconscious, he tells Uttar Kumar, he said, go and collect all their clothes. The Kurus tried to disrobe Draupadi, they failed. But Arjuna, he asked this boy to disrobe all of them. Unke sare kapde utare gaye, except Bhishma. I said, don't touch Bhishma because he knows the art of counter attacking the weapon. And he collected all that. And Arjuna left. When all the Kurus rose, when Duryodhana came back to consciousness, he chastised Bhishma. What are you doing? Why are you allowing him to go? And then Bhishma said, my dear stupid grandchild. He said, it is Arjuna's graciousness that he had our life in his hand. He could have killed all of us, but he would not do like that. You are saved not because of me, you are saved because of Arjuna's good culture. So this verse explains that he had seen it all, experienced it all. Alone Arjuna could do this. Now Bhima has come, Krishna has come, Krishna's blessing is there, Hanumanji has come, but still he says, I will challenge the Pandavas. Illogical decision. Vidura describes Duryodhana. Illogical. When Krishna came as a peacemaker, is one of the most beautiful pastime or a story or a history. When Krishna came to Hastinapur as a peacemaker, he did not come on a big chariot. He came like a Padayatra, attracting the crowd towards the Pandavas. Always thinking about the Pandavas, always thinking about Dharma. And he came, and Dhritarashtra was preparing for Krishna's arrival. And he told Duryodhana, let us bribe Krishna. Let us give him a product from China. Ye Mahabharat mein hai. China product is there since Mahabharat time. He said, let us give him silks from China and place him in the palace of Dushasan and give him limitless food so that he's tempted by us, so that we can ask him to do on our favor. Now you can't tempt Krishna. You can love Krishna. You can respect Krishna. You can worship Krishna. But you can't control Krishna. You can't buy Krishna. So Krishna straight went to Vidura's place. He didn't stay in Bhishma's place. He didn't stay in Dronacharya's place. He didn't stay in Kripacharya's place. These are all elevated souls. Performing all their pujas, rituals every day without fail, worshipping Shaligram Shila in their home. But Krishna did not go there. He went to Vidura's place. He honored prasadam there. After Krishna resting, Vidura sat Krishna next to him. Because Vidura is an elderly person, and he spoke to Krishna very sweetly. He said, Krishna, why did you come here? Is there any logic for your coming here? Because whatever you have come to do here, it is not going to be fructified. ये काम नहीं होने वाला है. It's a waste of your energy, waste of your time. And then Vidura spoke about the qualities of Duryodhan which makes him disqualified to hear from Krishna. Hearing also we need a qualification. And once you understand a person is not qualified to hear, it is no point in talking to such people because it's a waste of your energy. Therefore, Shastra has to be heard by those people and spoken to those people who have the desire to understand. Attention comes from respect. If you don't have respect, if you don't have inquisitiveness, if you don't have the mentality of inquiry, there cannot be an attention. The first principle is respect. Whether you continue to respect eventually or not, but when you are sitting to hear, respect that personality, because respect gives rise to attention. Attention gives rise to retention. Retention gives rise to reproduction. Otherwise it does not happen like that. So he said, my dear Lord, why Duryodhana is not qualified to hear? He has given up dharma and artha. न धर्म उसके पास है, न उसके पास अर्थ है. The Mahabharata speaks, Duryodhan had charged people advance tax for 10 years. न गाय की सेवा हो रही थी, न ब्राह्मणों का सेवा हो रहा था, न गुरुकुल के लिए सेवा हो रही थी. Yudhishthir gave that approach also to Duryodhana. He said, if I get to know they are taking care of people properly, I am willing to forego my kingdom. He was a brutal ruler. There was a governance, but the governance was not empowering. The governance was all caused by fear. आवाज उठाओ तो गला चला जाएगा, दृष्टि डालो तो आंख निकाल देंगे. ऐसा राज्य चलेगा? The kingdom will continue to work like that, like North Korea. No, that will work like that. And then he has given up dharma and artha, full of anger, tries to destroy the honor of others, always looks for honor for himself, disregards the words of teacher. Dharma is gone, artha is gone, anger is there, and he wants limitless honor. Does not respect the words of the Shastras. Absorbed in bhoga, thinks himself very intelligent, betrays friends. And this is not only Vidura is speaking. I will discuss this when we talk about Karna. Karna actually reconfirmed what Vidura is speaking. He tells this to Krishna. He says, my dear Krishna, Duryodhana is known to betray those who are dedicated to him. I remember reading about Stalin. People talk about Hitler alone, but Stalin was in fact more in one sense. Somebody asked him this question, what is your greatest pleasure? He said, my greatest pleasure is when people trust me so much. When I shoot them, that is my greatest pleasure. He spoke like that. I read about Mao also, Maovad, Naxalism. Mao, the original Mao, if you study his history, you'll be shocked to hear that we should not even utter the word Mao. What to speak of bringing his ideology of Maovad? Whichever doctor would come to him to check, to test, after making all the reports about him, the reports were placed, but the doctor would be disappearing. Because he didn't want anyone to know he was going through certain problem. And who would know? The doctors would know. तो डॉक्टर को गायब कर देते थे. Now this is not 5,000 years ago, Ravan demonic force. If you go to Cambodia, people go to see the temple of Angkor Wat. But there was a king or a dictator, what is his name? Pol Pot, right? He destroyed hundreds and thousands of people. Now also in some of the farmland, people find, the skulls of human beings. It didn't matter to him. If you go and ask the British Gujaratis living in London, who came from Uganda, Eid Amin, not 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, just few dashak, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, this man, I've heard this, I don't know, I didn't see his fridge, but I've heard that he had a human flesh in his fridge. If you study about Afzal Khan, they made dargah for him. If you go to Pratapgarh, and many Hindus also go, now they have stopped fortunately, after he was killed by Shivaji Maharaj. Before he came to encounter with Shivaji, because he had many wives, being a very powerful personality. Some say at 23, some say at 70, some say at 72. So when he was coming to attack Shivaji, he decided, if I die, what will happen to my wives? They'll become orphan. Nobody will be there to take care of them. You are very kind to them. And therefore he killed all of them. And he said, if I survive, I will remarry. For him, the whole concept of married life is all based upon, it doesn't matter who it is, as long as there is somebody. The relationship concept in the Vedic literature, when we say the marriage relationship is like a Lakshmi and Narayan, you call it as minimum 7 times. Right? That 7 times means, many times. Because hoping and praying that the relationship between the husband and wife is so good, because both are experiencing the graciousness of God there. Many, many lifetimes. But here for him, it was simply a number. But it didn't matter who it was. How far the story is true, I don't know. But if you read the history, if not him, there are many like that they were able to do. And Duryodhan had this quality of basically betraying his friends left, right, center. He did not mind people dying who are very close to him. Does not do any welfare towards anyone. For them, welfare activity does not exist as long as I grab the power. And if others have the power, I create disruption all over. And to create a chaos in the country, what we saw last 2-3 years, again it's a mentality of Duryodhan, causing limitless trouble to others. This is what Vidur had experienced. Vidur is not speaking out of anger towards Duryodhan. He was a Mahamantri of the Kauravas. He had to continue working for them. Does not acknowledge good done by others. No steady resolve. And then arrogant and illogical. What did they say? Refusal to give a mere 5 villages to the Pandavas. Can you imagine? How can you ever defend him when Krishna, on behalf of the Pandavas, he said, just give them 5 villages. Now, this is the tolerance of the Pandavas. Coexistence at what cost? Coexistence at the cost of actually sacrificing everything what they had. From a legal perspective, moral perspective, from the rule perspective, after the gambling match, after 12 years and 1 year incognito, if they complete, they'll get back their kingdom. And what they're asking? Asking for mere 5 villages. And what they're listening from Dhritarashtra, he said, go and beg in Dwarka. Because if you beg in Dwarka, that way the war will not happen. You have lived very clean life. Do not cause this war. My children are anyway bad. You don't become bad. And Krishna in the presence. Krishna did not ask this Duryodhan privately. In the Sabha, in front of everybody, he said, just give them 5 villages, Duryodhan, and you take the entire country. Krishna said, you rule. He was thinking, if Duryodhan is freed from the fear of the Pandavas, maybe he will rule nicely. ये भगवान का दृष्टिकोण है. Krishna never gives up hope in any living entity. Vedanta never gives up hope in any living entity. Because ultimately living entity is made of full of knowledge, full of bliss and full of eternality. However bad you are superficially, but in reality you have this quality of being good. That soul is always good. Therefore Lord Ram repeatedly tried to convince Ravan to change. And Ram failed. Ram's determination broke in the determination of Ravan for not changing. And it is not, it was the will of God, Ravan had to be like that. No, please do not say like that. When a bad person like Duryodhan and Ravan die, it is not the will of God that they should remain bad. It is the misuse of independence given by God to the living entity, not wanting to change. So, Duryodhan refused to give them 5 villages. What did he say? He said, now this is a famous statement. And you see, there is so much of illogical dispute do happen amongst the brothers, amongst the family. Right? You see the illogical again. You may say, why are you quoting so much of politics? After ruling for 58 years, you're asking for, can you imagine how can you speak about, you have not done this, you have not done that, asking something which is the legacy of 70 years. Right? There has to be some honesty even in diplomatic behavior. Statistics होता है. समाज आपको प्रश्न पूछेगा, इतना झूठा मत बनो. चाणक्य says, it is okay to lick the honey bottle which you collect on behalf of the country. A honey keeper, when he goes to collect honey, he said it is but natural that he will lick his hand. He said that much corruption is okay. He said that is allowed. But if you drink the entire jar of the honey bottle and question someone who just taken over something, hey, tum log aisa kar rahe ho. Duryodhan had that kind of arrogance. He first of all told Bhishma, they have not completed the 1 year incognito. He got stuck in the technicalities rather than the realities of culture. He said, no, they have not completed. I do not agree. I found Arjuna before they completed the 1 year of incognito. And Bhishma told by perfect calculation, he said there are 2 ways to calculate. One is Sauramana and there is one Chandramana. He said Pandavas have followed both. He said in fact, according to our calculation, they have spent 50 to 60 extra days in incognito. But the stubborn rascal would not listen because he had his own calculation, which is not a calculation, it is simply a stubbornness. Right? So he would not agree. He said, I will not give a space which will occupy the head of the needle. He spoke this in front of everybody. Neither Bhishma, neither Drona, neither Kripacharya, neither Dhritarashtra, neither all the mantris objected to this. Then Krishna said, this person, if you want to protect your entire Kula, my dear Dhritarashtra, he said, capture Duryodhan. He said, capture Dushasan, capture Karna and capture Shakuni. He said, bind them and give it to me, and then entire Kuru Kula will be protected. That was the time where Krishna first time spoke harsh language of giving a justice to the Kurus. Total lack of estimating skills. Even though he had seen Karna flee from so many situations, he still assures his father of their victory based on Karna's support and not of the great warriors like Bhishma, Drona and Kripa. Arrogant and illogical, appointing a king while he himself is not the king. Right? Just see, if you are not qualified to teach, but you are appointing a professor taking his interview for a higher post. You are teaching in a kindergarten, but you are taking an interview of a professor who is going to teach mathematics for the higher student. Okay, I select you. ऐसा हो गया ना, nowadays, schools are run by gundas, many places, illiterate politicians, and they are actually interviewing the people who are highly qualified. When a teacher, basically teacher is an independent person. They do not work for anybody. They work for the student straight. Just imagine, if that happens, how bad it is. Duryodhana's young lad, he just completed his education from Dronacharya, and in that exhibition match, without even asking anyone, he said, hey, Karna, appoint as the king of the Angadesh. And nobody stopped. Nobody said anything. And the interesting fact is that Karna became king of Angadesh, but he never went there even once. Because they were all sitting in Hastinapur only, cooking all the politics there. They never went there. Overly dependent on emotional person like Karna. Capturing Drupad, we have read that story. Virata's battle, harsh tongue and behavior. After the third day at war, seeing the great damage that Arjuna had caused, the Kuru army, Duryodhan went and harshly spoke these vile words to his own grandfather. In front of you and Drona, Arjuna with Krishna's help has uprooted our army. And even Karna was unavailable to us because of you. Why do you not die? He is telling it to Bhishma, better you die. If you die, then I can invite Karna to fight. These outbursts were not accidental. They were not sometime we become angry with people. It is but natural. कुछ बोल देते हैं. Sometimes mothers in Marathi they say na melya, right? But that doesn't mean that instantly they realize their mistake. But here he makes that as a strategy against Dronacharya, and Bhishma comes consciously, prepared his mind, speaks that to hurt the 80-year-old man who's very attached, hoping that kuch na kuch parivartan aa jayega. That was, we discussed Maitreya's curse. Caused unlimited violence, verbal, political, physical. To Bhima, to Arjuna, to Draupadi. We discussed that Virata wanting to compete with Yudhishthir in the battlefield. Vaishnava Yagya, because Pandavas did Rajasuya sacrifice. After Pandavas were thrown in the forest, Duryodhan told his father, we want also to do Rajasuya sacrifice. And then they had to tell technically, beta, when the family member is still living who has done the Rajasuya sacrifice, you cannot perform that sacrifice. And you have not conquered anything. So he said, is there any other Vaishnava, any Yagya? He said, okay, somebody suggested do Vaishnava Yagya. नाम वैष्णव यज्ञ है, लेकिन उसमें वैष्णवता कुछ भी नहीं है. After this yajna was over, yes, Karna showed some valor in the absence of the Pandavas. After they performed the Vaishnava yajna or before the Vaishnava yajna, he took a vow. Karna took a vow. And what was that vow? He said, as long as Pandavas are living, especially Arjuna is living, I will not allow any superiors to wash my feet. King is supposed to be washed. People worship him. He said, I will not allow that. And secondly, he said, I will always give charity till I kill Arjuna. So charity had a purpose. He was a charitable, but now his charitable propensity you utilize to gain power to kill Arjuna. Charity has to be unmotivational. When you do charity, when you do humanitarian work, there should not be any agenda, even including converting people. Then it is not a charity. It is not a charity. Because spirituality cannot be imposed because people are poor. Alright, spirituality is an inner calling. You cannot tempt people. Okay, in every other aspect there is a temptation. Politics there is a temptation. Business there is a temptation. Now even in the spirituality if there is a temptation, you come to me, I will give special Mahaprasad. Then the concept of bribery continues. So this Vaishnava yajna he performed and Karna took that vow, I will kill Arjuna, I will not rest. And after killing the Pandavas, Duryodhan, you will be able to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Physical. Abhimanyu's death. Read that part. Draupadi, physical. Jayadratha, very interesting how Duryodhan was using people. We discussed that, I think. Jayadratha was condemned to die in the hands of Arjuna. And Duryodhan realized if Jayadratha runs away from the battle, what will happen? Then it is easy for Arjuna to survive. But if I hold back Jayadratha, and if Jayadratha is killed by Arjuna, still it is bad for Arjuna because there was a secret benediction given to Jayadratha's father. Anyone who would bring down the head of Jayadratha, their body would split into hundreds of parts. So Jayadratha dying and Jayadratha living was both beneficial to whom? Duryodhan. Both were beneficial. So Duryodhan said, because Jayadratha realized he was given a benediction to defeat Pandavas for only one day, which he had done. Now his life is getting over. He said, I will go home, I don't want to be on the battlefield. And Arjuna had a vow, anyone who is running away from the battlefield, I will not kill them. So he had his life assured that Arjuna will not chase me and kill me. But Duryodhan stopped him, used him. But Krishna was much greater strategist than Duryodhan. When Arjuna was shooting at Jayadratha, Krishna said, release one more arrow and send the head of Jayadratha on the lap of his father. And the head fell on his father's lap. And when he got up from tapasya, instead of Arjuna's head splitting into thousands of parts, his own father's head split into 1,000 parts. Therefore, do not ask such benediction. At least you will survive. Your son may go. But he lost both. And then blaming others for his suffering. During peace mission, if you read, Duryodhan makes it very clear. He said, I am not responsible for gambling. He said, it is Yudhishthira is responsible for gambling. Now, why are you blaming always me? Why you always blame me? And during his death, to the extent where he successfully convinced Balram to favor his side. During death, he convinced the higher beings to feel sympathy and eulogize him. Now it's very interesting. How do you create a narrative? If you see the narratives again, why we discuss history, when you read a history book, when invaders and those who brutally murdered millions of people, you sympathize with them for being misunderstood by the local religious people, right? They were, whatever, they broke the temple, they did this, they did that. And there is also basically an approval. Like I remember, I don't know, in Vrindavan there is a Radha Govinda temple, right? So some of the Vaishnavas speak this, which is very wrong. When Radha Govinda temple was basically broke by Aurangzeb, whom people blame? They don't blame Aurangzeb directly. He said, yeah, he broke the temple, but the breaking of the temple happened because of Shivaji Maharaj. Have you heard this? There is a theory in the academia also. So consciously or unconsciously, when you go to a temple as a Gaudiya Vaishnava, when you see, अरे शिवाजी should have not done, ऐसा कितने भक्तों के मन में आ जाता है. They don't realize if Shivaji was not there, you'd not be going to that temple. You'd not be going there because you'd be converted. Right? But just see the narrative when Shivaji escaped from Agra, which was a greatest humiliation for Aurangzeb. Surrounded by 5,000 soldiers, from there, Shivaji not only escaped, but he gave all the sweetmeats to all his soldiers. Mithai khilakar bhag gaye. So he had never experienced that. Because Aurangzeb was not an ordinary person. If you study his life, his character, his life was basically lived more austere. In fact, he lived a life of like a Goswami only. No enjoyment, no entertainment. He lived like a extremely austere person, extremely shrewd politician. He had the power to control all his powerful brothers, control all the Rajput who were supporting his brothers, and became one of the most powerful king of the Mughal Empire, which had the greatest landscape compared to any other empire anywhere in the world. And here, an ordinary soldier who was just building a small empire, like 5 villages, 10 villages, 13 villages, 20 villages. What he does? He escapes from the hands of 5,000 soldiers. So he went mad. He went crazy. If you read, there are Akbar Nama, there are many historical chronicles. So then he destroyed Kashi temple, then he destroyed, he brought down lot part of Vrindavan, Radha Govind temple, which was very bad. But don't change the narratives. Do not feel a little upset to Shivaji Maharaj. That is the greatest Vaishnava opera as far as I understand. Because he was trained by 2 great Vaishnavas, Ramdas Swami and Tukaram Maharaj. And because of him, at least I say, I am from Karnataka, very close to North Karnataka. If he was not there, I'll be sitting and doing azan. No? And not only doing azan, speaking totally against the whole Vedic culture, slaughtering the beef. Right? So therefore, whenever we talk about history, history should not be spoken only from your interest alone. I always say this, we should congratulate our ancestors. We should be grateful to them that they fought, they survived, they struggled, they moved from one place to another place, migrated from one place to another place to maintain what? If they had just converted, खाना तो चल जाता था उनका. जीवन तो चल जाता था, they could have survived, but they say no, for us, more than living with our belief system is more important. We will live only when we get to live based upon what we believe in. हम अपनी गंगा की पूजा करेंगे, हम जमुना की पूजा करेंगे, हम हमारी संध्या वंदन करेंगे, हम अपने घर पे हमारे परिवार के श्राद्ध कार्यक्रम करेंगे, उपनयन संस्कार करेंगे, only to protect that, you know. So understanding that is very important. Isolation, saying that no, only this person is responsible for my growth in life, will what? It will destroy the whole concept of parampara. It will destroy the whole concept of connection. Therefore, whenever we go to Vrindavan, if you hear that story, please directly object to a person who is speaking like that. Give them a counter narrative also. No, if you are not able to, ask them to listen to this lecture also. But we will never speak anything which will undermine those who fought for go Brahman Pratipalaka. Brahman यानी कि not Brahman jati, Brahman यानी कि protecting the entire range of Vedic literature, and protecting cows means protecting spiritual culture. So better be angry with Aurangzeb, not with Shivaji, for doing whatever he did. So, but the narratives, very interesting. Why I had to say this? Now Duryodhana is fighting and Balramji comes there, who was not involved in all these 17, 18 days. He played very neutral, had a great affection for Duryodhana, being very skilled. For 17 days he did not come because he told Krishna, Krishna, you don't take sides. Because if you take sides, then battle pehle din hi khatam ho jayega. So he went away, knowing very well that I can't oppose Krishna. I will not be on the opposite side of Krishna. At the same time, I don't want to be with Krishna because, I want to be neutral. I want to be equal to everybody. This is another, this is another wrong philosophy. Don't be equal to everybody. Be fair to everybody. That is equality. So Balramji comes. This is Mahabharat, Vyasdev. And then in the battle, as we discussed, Bhima was very clear, Krishna was very clear, Arjuna was very clear that you can't defeat Duryodhana unless you strike him when he is not very careful. And there was a vow also. So Bhima struck Duryodhana on his thighs, and that angered Balram so much, it angered him so much that he came to strike Bhima. Forgot that he is supposed to be neutral party. Therefore, Balramji is teaching a lesson through his own pastime. He said, when you play neutrality, you eventually consciously or unconsciously side the negative party. That is the lesson for life. Those who speak about equality, the superficial fairness, they did so, why you should do? No, you should not become like them. It's all correct. But if they are not learning the lesson, it's a very interesting that disparity is there in the whole governance. A disparity is there in regards to based upon caste, based upon pantha. There is a greater favor. Yes, we are a secular country, but at what cost? At the cost of majority religion. So logically is that, what is logic? Logic is that go by poverty, go by potential. If a potential person is not getting resources to study, provide him the resources. Is it not logical? But since ages, this system is there which is so illogical. And what does it do? As I explained, the viciousness grows not like a bamboo tree, it grows like a banyan tree. Madness grows like a banyan tree, and at one point of time, people will lose their patience. Because nobody in this world can take anything more than what they can handle. Either they become suicidal or they become brutally murderous. That is the fact of life. That is the history of creation since time and immemorial. Mahabharata repeats again and again. And therefore, Krishna was there. He stopped Balramji, spoke to him logical, gave so much of logic. But Balramji said, Krishna, you are very expert. Kuch bhi. No? And he walked away from there. Balramji is not, we don't have to say, how can Balramji do? Balramji is teaching us through this pastime, how people can be so illogical in regards to justice. Now Duryodhana has come down. And what does he speak? Read that part. Read on your own. When you read that part on Vyasdev, because however much you speak on behalf of Vyasdev, unless you read the statement of Vyasdev, you will not actually feel. Duryodhana is lying down there, being beaten by Bhima, and he condemns Krishna. He said, Krishna, you are talking about justice and you are talking about dharma. I always practice dharma. He said, you are the one who are basically did all the cheating. Bhishma was killed like this. Dronacharya was killed like this. Bhurishrava was killed like this by cheating. Karna was not on the chariot. He came down. You killed him. And just see, now the height of your adharma is happening by striking at me. And what happened when Duryodhana is speaking like this? The so-called higher beings were convinced by the fantastic narratives of the best of the medias who have got the great communication skills. The devatas, the higher beings, they started showering flowers on Duryodhana and almost condemning the Pandavas to the extent where the Pandavas became disheartened, thinking that we made such a big blunder. हमने इतना बड़ा पाप कर दिया. A criminal has the power to make feel a good person criminal by their narratives. No? It's a very important principle. Therefore, many times people develop this attitude, Jane do, why should I be bad? So they allow injustice to continue to happen. Because the other party convinces you that if you take action rightfully, justfully, legally, dharmically, and if you win it, you will be condemned for doing what you did. Imagine, this is not human beings, these are the higher beings. They start offering flowers to Duryodhana, and not only they are convinced, the Pandavas are disheartened by this. Oh my God, what we have done. And Duryodhana tells Yudhishthira Maharaj, just see your future, my dear Yudhishthir. He said, I enjoyed the kingdom unrivaled, without any trouble. And what you have with you? Nothing but death and destruction at your disposal. Enjoy this kingdom where there is nothing but blood. He is condemning the Pandavas. He is feeling gratified for himself. He has convinced the Devatas to offer showers. And then he is making Pandavas feel really sorry. And if Krishna was not there for the Pandavas, they would have become psychologically wreck. Even Bhima for that matter. अरे मैंने कुछ तो गड़बड़ कर दिया. So Duryodhana is not only a nasty person, but Duryodhana has a strategy. Doesn't stop here. Duryodhana is dead, he's gone. Right. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, after all the things, whatever happened, eventually, reluctantly, he agreed to be coronated. Bhishma spoke all that philosophy. and is coming to sit on the throne. And there comes one sage, so-called sage, and his name was Charvak. Not the Charvak what we talk about. There was another Charvak. Now what is Charvak means? Charvak means who has the ability to speak very nicely. When Yudhishthira Maharaj is coming, in the presence of all other sages, all the very good Brahmanas, what does he do? He starts condemning Yudhishthira for the battle. He said, because of you, Yudhishthira, such a massacre happened. And how shamelessly you are coming to take this throne. You are wanting to sit on the throne. Do you not have a heart to feel? He said, we all the Brahmanas condemn you for what you have done. He speaks loudly. So even after death, Duryodhan had placed his people in the right spot. If you are sensitive, you will understand what I am saying. Even if you lose your government, your people are sitting in bureaucratical systems. They will not allow you to do what you are planning to do. I remember one of our devotee's husband in Karnataka. He's a politician. He told his wife, you do Krishna Bhakti, I do Dharma. No? So he recently won the election. He was telling me, and he's a very successful farmer. A single farmer, he's a Shetty. So when he also, like other Shetties, left his village, went for looking job and business, did something, but there was a flash in his mind. He said, no, I should go back. I should go back and do cultivation. In Kannada, we call it as Vyavasaya. No, that is actually called as Vyavasaya. In Tamil also, farming is called as Vyavasaya. So he went back. He had hardly, of course, he was a landlord, but then he started buying what was sold by his family members. He said, I should get back the land which is sold, because land is not different from your mother, your ancestor. So kharidi karte gaye, pura land. And he collected about 100 and 150 acres of land. And within no time means many years, patience ke saath, slowly cultivated. He has got thousands of coconut trees, thousands of banana trees, mango trees, vegetables, and then kaju, sandalwood trees, 2 acres of land of water body, hundreds of cows. He said 20 years ago there was nothing in this land. He has come. We have come, na? Many devotees have come and seen that place. So he was telling me, last time he said when he was made part of the agricultural development project in state. And he's a successful farmer. But who has the control? A bureaucrat who has nothing to do with farming. And he said, how much we tried to convince them. He said, see my own farming. He said, my investment in cultivating is very less. I use cow urine, cow dung. Not even 1 grain of fertilizer is used. Wherein you are giving so much of, discount, spending tens and thousands of crores of fertilizer, discount is given so that people can buy and get different kinds of disease. He said, let us start slow by slow, small patches. He said it was like speaking to a deaf ear. When a bureaucratical person is a defense secretary who has never seen Kargil other than in his exam paper while appearing, and all the things has to go through him when a real warrior is fighting on the battlefield. Now I have spoken to army officers. He said it is such a difficult task. Everything has to go through them. I'm not saying that everybody is bad. Even if you are good, but unless your work, especially teaching, like other day somebody was saying, in the Western world, in many of the universities, research and teaching are in the same place. In education research, because the teachers are the one who understand the student. If the research wing is part of the college and the university, there is a greater connect. But unfortunately, what happened in India, the teachers have nothing to do with research. Research was a completely different department established by Pandit Nehruji. And therefore what happened? The teachers has nothing to do with the research, and the researchers had nothing to do with teachers. They were there in own isolated land. But if you study Gurukul system, the education was not only connected to teaching, education was connected to discovering many aspects of the finer aspect of the teaching. Lilavati mathematics was not existing since ages. Lilavati's father, if you know about Lilavati, she wrote a compilation on mathematics. She became a widow, was very young. So her father, to entertain her, knowing her chart very well, he taught her mathematics. And she compiled it. It was a greater discovery. Ramanuja, one who knew infinity. Right? Only thing we don't know about him. Right? We ask about any film actresses and actors, everybody will raise hand, even including myself. Right? But if you talk about someone who discovered the mathematical equations recently because something came, he was dictated by Mahalakshmi. He was a Vaishnava. She would dictate him so many, this sutras. Right? He knew infinity, it was just in the 19th century. So discovery of the mystery of universe keeps on happening because वेद गर्भ में भी है और प्रकृति के गर्भ में भी है. अगर अध्यात्म के साथ में ऋषिगण scientifically discover करते जाते हैं, so many things keep coming up. So therefore research and teaching was not connected. Just see. So therefore Duryodhan, for that matter, was a typical personality who had the power, even after his death, to speak against the Pandavas in such a way where people could start feeling, oh, Yudhishthira Maharaj must have done something obnoxious. But fortunately, because the Brahmanas were enlightened, alert, with their power of mantra, as Charvak was speaking all nonsense, they used the Humkar mantra. अपने मंत्र के शक्ति के द्वारा उन्होंने क्या कर दिया? उसको न्यूट्रलाइज कर दिया. जैसे एक्सप्लोडिंग बॉम्ब को, when you neutralize it, diffuse that bomb, what happens? You not only save people, but that bomb becomes useless. फिर से कभी और ट्रबल नहीं करेगा. In that way, they were able to do. So therefore, never present Duryodhana only as a cruel personality. He is more intelligent, more strategic than the Pandavas, guided by Shakuni. Therefore, if you study Vyasdeva, makes it very clear, if Krishna was not there for the Pandavas, giving them the strategy, giving them encouragement, giving them confidence, you are not criminals. They are criminals, but they are making you criminal. Just imagine their power of conviction, how they are able to convince you. Right? Why he was able to do that? Because we discuss, Duryodhan was not simply any ordinary personality. He was Papa Purusha according to Bhagavatam. He is the source of all Papa and is the personification of Kali. What we experience Kali Yuga, just imagine we are experiencing Kali Yuga which is scattered everywhere. Right? It is scattered. The entire universe is influenced by Kali, but that Kali when is concentrated in one place. Can you imagine? If there is 10 liters of milk, when it is concentrated, it becomes rabdi. And you already have a trouble with your stomach. You are taking Ayurvedic medicine for your indigestion. and somebody forces you to drink that rabdi, which has become 2 liters, what will be your condition? Even though it is a sweet, high quality rabdi, that very rabdi become cause of your death. मिठाई है, but you do not have the power to digest that. So you are the personification of Kali, and fighting him by the Pandavas on their own was not possible. So Krishna had to come. And not only Duryodhan was Kali, but Shakuni was Dwapar. And what is Dwapara means? Dwapara means Kali represents, quarrel, and Dwapara represents hypocrisy. When hypocrisy personified and Kali personified are together, where is the chance for Yudhishthira Maharaj to win a gambling match? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj represents Satya Yuga. He will always say, I want one, I want one, I want one. One means Satya Yuga. And what Shakuni was saying, I want 3 and 4, I want 3 and 4, I want 3 and 4. Because his dais was influenced by Kali and Dwapara, Yudhishthira Maharaj never got 1. He only got 3 and 4, which was favoring the Kurus. And after the gambling match, by the advice of Krishna, Yudhishthira Maharaj realized, I need to add practicality to my idealism. I have to act व्यवहार to my आदर्श. मेरे आदर्श में मुझे व्यवहार डालना होगा, then only I will survive and my citizens will survive. Therefore, the greatest of the dharmic personality, Yudhishthira Maharaj, most reluctant in doing anything to anybody, never within his mind also he ever heard people, if you study, even some of the Western authors, they compare Yudhishthira Maharaj to be more evolved even than Buddha. In regards to non-violence. And such personality realize non-violence for my personal spiritual growth is important. If I am staying in the ashram, for my personal spiritual growth is important, but I am connected to the Rashtra. Therefore, while practicing that non-violence for myself, like Prabhupada writes in the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, for a Kshatriya, non-violence is demoniac. And for a Kshatriya, shooting arrows is a transcendental activity. It is there in the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Right? So Yudhishthira Maharaj choosing to transform and at least become alert in regards to the strategies of the Kurus, guided by Krishna, became his success to rule for 36 years, which was very well governed. In fact, he created a foundation for Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj's kingdom was much better than Yudhishthira Maharaj, because the grandfather has created a foundation and the grandson actually made amazing development. Because that question is also asked by people, what is the point of that war? Because we are suffering Kali Yuga again. What was the benefit? इतने लोगों को मारने से अच्छा था, जैसा था वैसा ही करना था, क्योंकि कलयुग फिर से आ ही गया ना. That we will discuss when we study the character of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So we'll stop here and we'll take next topic. And before taking the next topic, if you have any questions, because I'm just downloading so much on you, we have to process it, reflect it, contemplate it, understand it. It should not be like a rabdi which is concentrated, and then it is causing indigestion. If you have any questions, comments, we'll take. Maybe then we will do Gandhari's story tomorrow. Yes? Mic, mic.
On the first day, Prabhuji, you had told the conflict between Daiva and Karma. Sometimes we become over dependent on Daiva and Karma, endeavor and mercy of the Lord. So,
Daiva and Purushartha.
Daiva and Purushartha. So then, where do we draw the line? Why? Because like we are not supposed to expect miracles, and we are supposed to endeavor for all the results what we. But at the same time, also we have over endeavoring for something is also. So how do we know that we are crossing the limit of endeavoring and we are becoming too much self?
Therefore, Krishna, see, you can't avoid Krishna's logic. You know, Krishna said in Gita, Yukta Hara, Yukta Vihara, Yukta Chestasu Karmasu. No. So when you endeavor so much at the cost of your health, your relationship, then you know you're over endeavoring. Or you become so much, everything will be Krishna will take care, then you are too much into recreation. Or you are too much into eating prasad. So nothing Krishna gives you chance to make a justification. Yukta Hara, Vihara, Yukta Chestusa Karmashu is there. And then we discussed this also, that if you study carefully, in fact, now because the kind of education system you have received, when you come out, you become more confused with a degree in the hand. You know, we don't know what to do, what not to do. We have no identity. We only have a certificate. Therefore, can you imagine a developed country where education is available, therefore Indians rush to America to study. 12% people have a disorder, personality disorder. 12% is not a small number. It's almost like, 30 million people. More than 30 million people, 33 million people. Disorder, personality disorder. And we discussed about India also. Because your education, I was talking to a dean of an engineering college. And he said, I can't tell you how embarrassed I am to teach people who are not qualified to learn. He said 15 lakh engineers come every year from the universities and only 1 lakh people get job. I was in Hyderabad recently. One devotee, he worked in many multinational companies, very brilliant in his field. And he was telling, Prabhuji, if you come and study IT sector, the kind of interaction happens with people. People don't know anything. Many people don't know anything. In fact, somewhere I read, 90% of the engineers are non-employable. Forget of employment, they are non-employable. Non-employable. They don't know to write simple letter, because every private college and the government college has certain systems wherein you are pushed without being educated. You get a certificate, you get 20% skill, but the kind of job you are supposed to do, you need 100% skill. So those who are from very beginning, they are not made for that skill, they are confused. And the sincere people, when they go through these colleges, when they come out, they are confused with a lot of sincerity in the heart. So therefore we have a lot of these questions. But if we had studied Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam from very beginning, these questions would never arise. Because you are taught about what is Daiva, what is Karma, what is Purushartha, what is Daiva, endeavor. Sometimes we also teach children, just chant नरसिंह भगवान का प्रार्थना करो सब ठीक हो जाएगा. अरे गाड़ी का ब्रेक ठीक है कि नहीं देखो पहले. Because in our vehicle also Narsingh Bhagwan was there. We had chanted Narsingh Arti. maybe our negligence and their negligence, even if they are neglectful, you will be also experiencing the consequences. Therefore, asking this question, Daiva bada hai, Purusharth kya hai, we hear the mercy is the greatest factor. You have come in the middle. We have come in the middle, and to pacify us, to stay in devotional service, our superiors, as Bhagavatam explains, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, the great people cheat for the great cause. So we've been cheated also in regards to, for a good reason, so that we can stabilize in our devotional service. But as you grow, then you realize actually mercy is there. But to get that mercy, I have to grow my own tree. I was sharing this with Radhika Vallabh Prabhu. The difference between Daiva and Purushartha. Very simple story. In my Hand of God, I mentioned this story. Your endeavor is like a lemon. How does lemon comes in the lemon tree? There was a king. So he would love lemon. And one farmer, he grew nice lemon and took this 2 lemon and gave it to the king. And king told the diwan, isko 2 gav bhed mein de do. So then the diwan gave him 2 village as a gift. And he came back to his village. He's a villager, so therefore he has to make confident. Are dekha mera lemon ka kamal kya hai? My lemon is so good, the king gave me 2 village. The other farmer said, it is not lemon ka kamal, but the king's magnanimity. And the third farmer said, but it would not come without the lemon. And the conclusion is that your endeavor, however much you put, it is like lemon only. And the God's grace is like giving you 2 village. There is no proportionate price. 2 lemon should give you 2 chickus. No? Maybe 1 mango. लेकिन आपको क्या मिल रहा है? 2 लेमन के बदले में 2 गांव मिल रहा है. Therefore, when you sincerely endeavor based upon your swadharma, you realize, I am too small, but your swadharma is also like the vicious quality. It also has a growth which is a virtuous circle. It also creates an avalanche effect. Slower than the nasty qualities, but also has the same. Pandavas were living in the forest. Nobody ever imagined that they would be kings. They became Chakravartis because they were connected to Swadharma. Right. Just imagine if Picasso had followed his mother's instruction, neither he would have become a soldier, what is becoming a general. He would have not become a pope. He would have become an abusing priest also. Right. That could have happened. But rather than following, the ambitions of his mother, he followed his own Swadharma and became Picasso. Right. So there are many people, like if you see Chanakya, he told Chandragupta's mother, if you do not allow him to discover what he is supposed to be, Chanakya was there to discover the character of Chandragupta when he was he was in the street going along with his, goats and sheep. And mother said, मेरा बकरी का क्या होगा? अरे बकरी का नहीं, लोग बकरी के समान है, उनका राज्य करने के लिए बनाए. He said, I will not stop his growth. You and mothers like you have stopped because of their mamata so many Chandraguptas from becoming Chandragupta. He said, I will not stop this. I will not allow this. So therefore, these questions about, how do I know I am Atma? What is endeavor? What is mercy? All these questions is nothing but sign of misdirected education system. I met one young student, 22-year-old. He is teaching some of our school children in Pune, Panini grammar. 12 years he studied Panini grammar. 4,000 sutras. And the way his guru taught him, while grazing the cows. 70, 80 cows he would take into the fields. While with the cows, he would learn 4,000 sutras he had to learn in one month. If you would not learn in one year, then you would get 1 month discount extra. Within 1 year, 1 month, you have to learn all those 4,000 sutras. And these 4,000 sutras, once you learn, then permutation and combination is again, it creates a limitlessness. When he came back from his Gurukul, his father said, बेटा देख तू तो वहाँ से पढ़ के आया लेकिन ये दुनिया डिग्री चाहती है. बोला कर लूँगा. Within 4 years he got his 10th standard certificate, he got his 12th standard certificate, he got his BA, he's got his MA, he got his BCom, he's now doing his PhD, and he's doing MA now in Sanskrit certificate के लिए, but he's also teaching the teachers who are teaching MA. Because the kind of knowledge what he has been taught properly. Confidence. The greatest thing that he doesn't have an arrogance, he has a confidence. I just met him last month. He's teaching 2 of devotees' children. And with him, this boy, 11-year-old boy, has already finished 400 sutras of Panini grammar. And Panini's grammar is connected to computer language. Already he is working with some IT people in research. वो बोला मुझे धन का कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. He said, I don't have a problem with money. He said, money is already coming to me. I'm teaching, but I'm getting money also. He said, his guru told him, he said, you also start a Gurukul. He said, he told his teacher, no sir, I will not start a Gurukul. He said, I will teach people how to earn dharma, artha through dharma. So Guru had to get his Guru Dakshina. He said, no, I will not. He said, आपको मैं लोगों को दिखाऊंगा कि धर्म से अर्थ कैसे कमा सकता है. 22-year-old boy from some small village in Andhra Pradesh. Some other his father, he couldn't do. He encouraged his son and he got a right teacher. Right teacher. I said, wow. I said, amazing. He said, next lifetime I will come with you. You know? Because studying is very important. So therefore asking this question, it shows, we have to learn. Basically another problem, because if you study again the psychology of modern children is that some other get the certificate whether you learn or not. जुगाड़ कर लेना यार. Project report somebody else will write. अभी तो Google है, cut paste copy करो. The whole purpose of project is to experience. वो होता ही नहीं है. Get the certificate, get the job. So therefore, where is the question of learning? So similarly, when you come to spirituality, we feel, अरे प्रभु जी ने क्या lecture दिया, कुछ करना ही नहीं है, तो आसान हो जाता है. No? The same mentality is used in spirituality also, that I want to experience perfection like a Maggi noodle 2 minutes में. But then you realize after many years, अरे ऐसा नहीं होता. Many lifetime को देना पड़ता है. ये reality जब dawn में हो जाता है ना, therefore I stopped saying that I will go back to God at next lifetime, because I don't want to have a wrong expectation. I would say for me, at least it will take minimum, 1,000 lifetimes. So if Krishna takes, which I will not come to know, so why discuss about something which is not within my, zone? Just discover yourself. And what is first discovery? To discover that how much I am a fool and ignorant. That is the beginning of knowledge. And that is real humility. Otherwise, humility is all poetry. Prabhu ji aap mahan, main chota. No? Poetry ho jata hai. But reality is that actually experiencing. Therefore Chaitanya Charitamrita says, when you go closer to Krishna, means going closer to Krishna's law also, what happens? You realize, I am so far away from Krishna. So therefore there should not be a false confidence in regards to spirituality also. It is better to claim that I am the stupidest of the person, and that is the reality also. No? And humility is always real. Humility is not poetry. Humility is real only. So therefore, ignorance is so much. And along with that ignorance, because we speak in English, there is a height of arrogance also. English is considered as sign of education. No? मतलब can you imagine how much भूसा भरा हुआ है सिर पे, उसको निकालने के लिए कितना समय लगेगा? तो इसलिए पुरुषार्थ करना पड़ेगा. Arjun, as we were discussing yesterday, he heard the Bhagavad Gita, but it took 10th day to strike Bhishma. It was not easy for him. If it is so difficult for Arjuna, who was such a student कि रात को सोता ही नहीं था, मैच देखने के लिए नहीं, not for watching, but actually becoming more expert in what he has learned from his teacher. Can you imagine? Even that Arjuna had to go through so much, and Krishna never promised Arjuna, don't worry Arjun, I am there for you. You sleep on the chariot, मैं तेरे लिए युद्ध करूंगा. He had to face Bhishma. So it's a choice whether you want to be, follow in the footsteps of Arjuna, or hear a simply sympathizing philosophy which makes you sympathetic, like Dhritarashtra. Don't worry Dhritarashtra, it was all the will of God, it was supposed to happen anyway. Like sometimes we use, ये तो कलयुग है ना, this is Kalyug only, this is how it is supposed to be. No, Kalyug is there. In fact, the entire Mahabharata, only twice Kalyuga is described. One by Markandeya Rishi, one by Hanumanji to Bhima. And the purpose of description of Kali, not to make Bhima inactive, rather make Bhima more active. मतलब कलयुग है, कभी भी जा सकता है, इसलिए अभी से चालू करो. कल रहेंगे या नहीं रहेंगे उसका गारंटी नहीं है. So therefore, do whatever you are supposed to do, for growing in life. Just see, the whole thought process is different, though studied in a real education system. It's a sad, that's in Dronacharya's we will study. 1 hour I'll only speak about the research, whatever I have done based upon my experience about education, even though I'm not educated. No. But we'll discuss. Drona actually represents the concept of modern education. Other than Arjuna, everybody else could get their certificate in one sense without paying the price, beginning with his own son only. उसको ब्रह्मास्त्र मिल गया. Like Pakistan को nuclear secret मिलने के समान. Everything has right connection in Shastra. That's a sad part. He got it, and then he caused such a great destruction. Any one other question? Whoever.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you spoke about Shivaji Maharaj right now. But in the temple itself, like I have gone through this personal experience. Many senior devotees, they say that Shivaji Maharaj was a frustrated person. He was misguided, and that is because he was not a devotee. He stressed upon Hindavi Swaraj, which goes totally against the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So, like how to resolve this, especially for those who are not like that much they do not have clarity.
How many believe this? You don't raise your hands, please. Again, therefore, it's a. Anyway, I'm holding back. I'm holding back. Because unless those who speak, see, sometimes devotees who are not from an Indian background, may speak this because they have less informed about the historical things. Therefore, if you see that Prabhupada, when he was talking to Achyutanand Prabhu, he spoke about this. He said, let the Indian things will be dealt by the Indian people. He said, entering into politics, talking about that, because they understand their country. When one of the devotees was condemning Indira Gandhi the way Prabhupada was condemning, he said, shut up and keep quiet your mouth, because I can do it. Because at the caliber he knew what works, how it works. He said, don't speak. He said, just practice your devotional service and go away from here. But when we are part of a society where you live, where will we go? We will live here only. Right? And if you are not sensitive to your surrounding, I am not saying that you should move away from your Krishna consciousness practice. And calling Shivaji as a frustrated person, that's a big aparad. Whoever says that. No, if anybody challenges me, including big sannyasis also, no, I will prove them wrong, not based upon some emotional thing. And I am not a Marathi, I am a Appata Kannadiga. I am not a Maratha, I am from South India. So I have studied enough, about, therefore what happens, devotees sometimes, they only consider devotee based upon their own immediate connections. No, that is not correct. Krishna is available to everybody. In the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? And the quality of a devotee is to see Krishna in all the splendorous activities. Right? So therefore, they should study history properly before making the comment, or they should say, I don't know anything about this. You talk to some Indian devotee, that will be the best answer. No. Otherwise, it's not correct. It's not right. So we'll stop here. And tomorrow we are one lecture behind. Tomorrow we'll do Gandhari, because we have to do Yudhishthira Maharaj. Without doing Yudhishthira Maharaj, all other characters become incomplete. Because all these characters are, in one sense, negative characters. So we have to bring Yudhishthira Maharaj to create a balance. Hare Krishna.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.